Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our viewers and listeners that are tuning in with us this morning for our broadcast. My name is Sister Ashley Mariano from the local congregation of Anaheim, and with me is...
I'm Brother Julian Sistoso, also from the local of Anaheim.
We're super excited for this week's broadcast because we're featuring the local of #Corona. Woo! So all of you from the local congregation of Corona, please leave your comments, your greetings, so that we can read them later in our broadcast. But for the theme of our broadcast today, we are starting off the month with Around the World, specifically today about Japan.
That's right.
I've never been. Have you been?
I have never been. I would love to go, though.
So now we're going to learn a lot more for whenever we go. But with us today, we have some very special guests from the local of Corona.
Go ahead and meet them.
Woo! If you'd like to introduce yourselves, maybe from the sister.
Oh, I'm Sister Gail Redito from the local of Corona.
Woo!
I'm Sister Venice Valenzuela from the local.
My name is Brother Genesis. I'm from same locale.
Corona.
Corona in the chat today. Thank you so much, Sister Gail, Sister Venice, Brother Genesis, for joining us today. And I think the number one thing that everyone wants to know, let's get down to business. What is the food like in Japan?
Food is great.
Food is great. Food is great. Food is indeed great.
Not only that, it's pretty cheap too.
Oh,
Yeah. I remember ordering from a place where it would usually be $30 here,
Right.
but I ordered for all my friends for almost less than $10. Yeah.
And he said, I'll pay for everyone. We gotta go to Japan.
You got it covered. Only in Japan.
You'll only get you. So you have to get yourself there first. Sister Venice.
I really like the convenience store foods.
Okay,
Yeah.
convenience.
Like what he said, it's cheaper. I don't remember the prices of like onigiris.
Mm-hmm. That's the rice with the seaweed.
triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know that they were called that. Now I know.
We're learning as we go with this broadcast every second.
Yeah.
Another thing is that you can you can live off convenience store food for basically the entire week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like actual good quality food.
It's really good quality food. Yeah.
Good quality food at a good price.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
We love food, especially here in INCRadio, Orange County, California.
That's what we're known for.
We love it. Sister Gail.
Oh, I've never been to Japan actually, but I really do want to go.
Yes.
I want to try, or I have a friend who always makes onigiri for me and my friends in our locale.
Oh, cool.
And it tastes really good. It tastes really good.
Man, homemade.
Homemade. That's
Can't,
right.
can't beat that. She doesn't even have to go to Japan. She just need to ask the brethren in her local. So let's just go to Corona. It's cheaper.
Yeah. That is too funny. So I know like a lot of people and a lot of brethren lately have been traveling to Japan over the last few years, I'd say.
Yes.
Like it's kind of become like a really popular destination. I mean, for those who have been there before, can you kind of explain like why that might be? Aside from the food.
What's great about Japan?
Yeah.
We know it's great, but just in your experience.
Yeah.
And there's so much to Japan that it's hard for me to put into sentences right now. But I will say I do like so there is a lot of walking, I will say, specifically in the Tokyo area. But everywhere else, what is it called? I'm not sure how to describe it. But yeah, since everything's a lot more compact and a lot more close together, at least with here, it's refreshing that I don't have to drive everywhere. You know?
Cool.
Okay. So things are like easily accessible. There's a lot of things to do, right?
Much more easily accessible.
That you could just walk to.
Right.
Cool.
Well, he did say there was a lot of walking. So if anyone in the live chat has been to Japan, let us know if that was like similar experience with like the food or places being easily accessible. We would love to hear from everyone's experiences as well. If you don't mind me asking, Brother Genesis, Sister Venice, like when was the last time you guys have been to Japan, and I guess like how different is it from then to now?
Well, I've only been there once,
Okay.
and I went like 2017. So it could be very different from his experience because he went last year.
Oh, cool.
Pretty recent.
Yeah, I went from like November 29th all the way up to October 22nd.
Oh.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
So is that like
November?
Wait, one more time. You went backwards.
Wait, no, I was there for 3 weeks.
Okay. That is nice.
I didn't want to question anything. I wasn't the one there, so I.
No, it's time travel.
Yeah, usually that's what you do in Japan. Time travel. Well, actually, for Sister Gail, on a different perspective, because I know like you are like along with us, like we want to go to Japan. So, what are some things you'd want to do, or maybe why do you want to go to Japan?
I think it just looks very beautiful there from what I've seen, specifically on like travel videos I see.
Mhm.
But I want to visit Mount Fuji. I think it's really pretty. Or go there when the cherry blossoms are like blooming.
That's cool.
When is like cherry blossom season? Is that like
Is that
spring?
spring?
Is it spring?
Yeah.
I think so.
Were there cherry blossoms anywhere? No.
It was humid.
So it's
It's that hot. Yeah, it was that hot.
In November?
October, November.
Yeah,
You can't
it-
tell.
yeah.
Right.
It was really hot.
That's crazy.
I would think it's like cold, getting cold at that time, but really.
It did towards the end of October,
Mm.
but at the beginning, oh my goodness, I was sweating.
Maybe it's like us, where it doesn't really get cold till December, like in OC.
I think so. yeah.
Is it kind of like a long summer that they have there, or
Apparently last
how does
year,
the weather work on the other side of the world?
apparently last year summer was just as hot as it was here.
No way.
Yeah.
Man.
Plus, I can imagine with like as many tourists as well, it's probably even more humid there too, with everyone
With all the
always
people.
walking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what you experienced?
Especially in the metros where everyone is like close together like that. Oh my goodness, it smell like sweat and body odor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for the three of you, just kind of like a general question, because do you three just enjoy traveling, like going, like taking a plane, going somewhere? What are some maybe tips you have, or how do you prepare for like such a long flight?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Because I don't know why it's a joke, but I like airplane food. I don't know if it's just the airlines that I take, and they're great, but like I'm not one to, because for my parents, they like sleeping the entirety of the flight, because they just want to get the flight over with and get there, and I like the flight experience. So I guess I don't know, in your guys' opinion.
I would like to download movies on the plane because
Nice.
it passes time really easily.
Yeah.
Or bring a book,
Mhm.
something that you don't really need to be online for.
Nice.
And bring snacks. Plenty
Yes,
of snacks.
because you can bring snacks.
Yes.
The book helps. The book, and I downloaded like episodes of TV series.
Oh, nice.
Or even on like my music, I would download songs that I could listen on repeat.
Nice.
For me, it's get the aisle seat.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go to the restroom.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
I am an aisle seat. I used to be like a window seat person, especially because it's like, oh, views, but it's like it's sky. There's
Yeah.
I know. It's just, or if you're
Sky for 12 hours.
taking exactly, but it's like if it's at night, it's just dark. But yeah.
I think, yeah, aisle seat, get the aisle seat. I can't think of any others, but my experience traveling to Japan specifically, it was terrible.
Oh
Yeah, it
no.
was terrible because there was an older gentleman to my left, and whenever I get that feeling about when I'm about to fall asleep,
Mhm.
he'd be like, "Sumimasen," and then he was like, "Oh, that means excuse me in Japanese." I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "I gotta go to the restroom."
Yeah.
And he said that in Japanese. I was like, "Oh no."
Aw.
And he did that like 5 times through the flight.
Oh, so you couldn't even sleep.
No.
Well, you know, to bring a book.
Yeah.
And maybe give him the aisle seat. No, but I am with you. I love the aisle seat. And I feel like there's a little more, there's a little more room. Nice.
The last time I traveled internationally, I downloaded movies. I think I had like 4 movies ready. I didn't watch a single one. I just slept the whole time. And then I got mad when we landed because I actually wanted to watch those movies. And on the way back, I slept as well. I didn't watch any of the movies that I downloaded. So I guess now I know for future reference, I'm not a movie person. But if you are traveling internationally for your first time, you want to get comfy, get an aisle seat, like Brother Genesis said, maybe get some books, get some movies.
Listen to
anything like that.
music.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we also want to, Sister Gail, have you been anywhere else outside of the country? Maybe not Japan, but Have you been anywhere else?
I've been to Canada. Last summer, I went with my family to Banff and Jasper. It's so beautiful there.
To Banff.
Yes, it's really pretty. We
Banff?
did hiking a
Yes,
lot.
Banff.
Banff?
With two
Yes.
F's,
Banff.
right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 2 F's.
Banff.
Banff? Is that how you say it?
I don't
Yes.
want to.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen pictures of it. It's like naturey? Is that kind of
Yes.
naturey in Banff?
Well, that's because also like in Japan, like you mentioned, like Mount Fuji, like there's a lot of nature spots too, right?
Wow.
Did you guys go hiking or like do anything outdoorsy while you guys were in Japan?
I did a lot of hiking, especially on the 3rd week, because all my friends had to leave earlier. So I was like,
Oh.
what do I do for the next week? And then I actually visited some spots with like there were certain movies where I was like, oh, that's an interesting one. It was like a large lake. I forgot the specific name of it because it's in Japanese. And then I was like, ooh, but it wasn't very hard at all. At least most of the hiking spots I went to.
Nice.
Well, as you travel to these different countries, I'm sure even for me, you have all your friends and loved ones back home. What are some good souvenirs, or like in our Filipino culture, pasalubong, do we like to give to our friends and loved ones?
For Japan, it's easy. It's the green tea Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Green
That's
tea,
a good
everything,
answer.
huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I was a little experimental with mine because I want to get the weird flavors.
Yeah, there's like apple
Too weird.
flavors.
Yeah.
There's like, yeah, there's a lot of different flavors. No, we're not sponsored by Kit Kat, but like there's a lot of different Kit Kat flavors.
Yeah, all right. I think we also have some pictures that Brother Genesis had sent in the other day. If we can go back to the first slide, please. I think, thank you. Brother Genesis.
Animals.
All right, what do we have a picture of here, Brother Genesis?
I don't know actually.
Oh, look cool.
Yeah, this is one of the trails I was walking down. I was like,
Okay.
what is
Oh,
that?
cool.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If anyone happens to know in the live
I
chat
forgot what this
where
is.
this might be, let us know.
Turned
That's
into
cool.
a game.
Next slide, please.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, what are
these deer.
these?
Those are the bowing deer in the national park, and they actually bow to you.
That's
Oh,
so cool. They're
yeah.
so polite.
Yeah, they're so
I
polite.
didn't know it was called bowing deer.
Yeah, that's actually what they're called. I forgot the Japanese name, but yeah.
Do you bow
that's-
back?
Yeah. I do.
So cool.
And this was September, October, or November of last year that you said.
This was mid-October.
Mid-October.
Mm.
Okay. Is that like prime time to see these bowing deers? I don't know.
It's year round. It's
Yeah.
year round.
Year round.
It's
Got
year
it.
round. Yeah.
Cool. Are they named?
Yeah. That one's Charles. That one's Jared.
Are you serious?
No.
That's a,
He's like, yeah, that's what
not
I
to
named
judge,
them.
but like that's not.
All right, next slide, please. Okay.
Wow.
Are you in any of these pictures?
I was taking.
Is that
the
your?
photo.
You were?
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say,
You're
is
behind
that
the
your
photo.
back?
Okay. Walk us through what picture do we have on the left side here? Yeah.
That
City
fir-
life?
That first one was when I was first arrived in Japan,
Okay.
and then me and my friends were tired, but one of my other friends was like, "Let's just walk around." I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay." So I walked around there. That one, it's in Kyoto, but I forgot the name as well.
Mm.
And then the third one is Akihabara, and if for all the, what is it? I don't even know what to describe it. Yeah, but that's for nerd capital of the world, I
I
guess.
have seen those. Yeah.
Oh,
Handmade
cool.
letters and stuff like that. That's cool. Well, thank you for sharing these pictures with us. Sister Venice, do you recognize any of those places?
The third
The
one.
third one?
Yeah, the
How do
third
you say
one.
it?
Akihabara.
Akihabara. Okay. Cool. She's like, yeah, Genesis got that. Sister Gail, have you seen any of those places before? Have those been like on your kind of dream destinations?
No, but I have seen it from my brother. He sent photos to our family group chat
Oh,
for us
Oh, that's so
Nice.
fun. He's like, look where I'm at.
it is best
What are you
one.
guys doing?
Yeah, I guess if you don't mind us asking, like, what was kind of the whole experience like, kind of planning to go to Japan, and then what was like that experience when you finally got there for the Genesis?
It was like a year in planning. It was basically a post-graduation gift.
Oh, that's fun.
And then actually getting there, I think I already told you the flight was terrible, but experiencing it for the first time, huge culture shock. Oh my goodness, the first day I was so lost. Thank God I had one of my friends, because he's been to Japan before, and he helped us he helped us go around going to the hotel we were supposed to go to. It was so fun.
Yeah, it looks like from your pictures and from everything that you've told us about it so far. I mean, it sounds really, really fun, and I think a lot of our brethren in our district, I've noticed like a lot of people have been traveling to Japan as well. So I'm sure that's kind of like the hotspot destination to go to right now. What was it like for you, Sister Venice, when you went, a couple of years ago?
A lot of walking. One of the ones I remember the most was the cherry blossoms, because I went during April. It's like the spring season. It's like mostly, not everywhere we went, but like the parks. Yeah, the parks were really nice.
Yeah.
Well, Sister Gail, for you, do you have, just to kind of make it a little more general for you, is there any country that you would say was like your top country that you visited, and maybe like tell us a little bit why?
Probably Canada. It's very peaceful there. And if you're an outdoor person like me, there's so many fun outdoor activities that you can do, like hiking. There's even kayaking that you can do in some of the lakes there. It's really cool. With my family, I went to go, I forgot the name of the glacier, but we hiked on a glacier in summer, which was definitely an experience. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. It was very fun.
Man, imagine being cold in the summer. But I mean, that's like Australia for us. Anyway, that's like a whole different story.
We actually have some greetings that we wanted to read from the live chat from Sister Marie Galan. Good morning from the local of Corona. Excited to see my friends joining on this episode. Thank you so much, Sister Marie, for helping us get Brother Genesis, Sister Gail, and Sister Venice today. From Akuma. Good morning, brethren, from the local of Corona. And then Katarin.
Oh, that's my mom.
Hello, everyone. Hashtag Corona. Hi, Queen Genesis, Gail, and Sister Venice. And then to, is this your dad, Carex?
Yep.
Shout out to my favorite son, Brother Genesis.
Yeah.
So thank you to the local Corona for showing your love and support for our guests and for our broadcast today. Going back to our topic, this might be a harder question to choose from. If you could choose like a single favorite memory from your travel to Japan or travel to Canada, what would your favorite memory be? Only one. You're gonna make it hard.
You guys go first then.
Specific place you went to, maybe just the people that you're with.
In Japan.
And for you both, Japan. And then for Sister Gail, we want to know about Canada.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, for me, it was the worship services, because some of the hymns were in Japanese.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it sounds happier in Japanese.
It sounds happy.
Yeah.
Was like everything?
No, not the whole worship service. Somewhere in Tagalog or English. So that was my favorite memory.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Brother Genesis.
Still thinking.
He said, "Sister, help."
At least for me, when I went to Canada, there's too many memories to choose from, but definitely just being outdoors with my family was a really good time to spend time with them. So yeah, just any memories with them is a good experience.
Did you do the hiking, kayaking thing?
Yes, it was really cool.
Were you in Canada with your family?
He said, "No, I was in Japan."
He was in Japan. That was his graduation gift. Right? Congratulations to Brother Genesis. All right. So for our international travelers here, for someone who hasn't traveled internationally, what is something that you would recommend preparing for, or like a really highly recommended site to see, in Japan or in Canada?
I mean, the Nara, it's not national park. The Nara Park, that's where all the deers are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, but it's more of like a one-stop shop. Like you go there just to see the deer, and then you can move on to. I think Kyoto is mostly where the tourist destinations are. Yeah.
There we go. Mr. Venice.
What was the question again?
If there's like a like a top site to see that you would recommend, or like for people to prepare for? Kind of what's like your number one recommendation?
What to prepare for is like bring comfortable shoes.
Comfortable shoes
Because I
for
think-
all the walking.
I think every part of Japan, in my experience, it was always scenic. There's always something to appreciate about just walking in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very big culture difference,
Mhm.
right? I know, Brother Genesis, you were mentioning like the culture shock. That's a very big difference compared to here, where mostly everything is like we have to drive,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So what was that kind of like for you guys being in a different country, kind of experiencing what that type of life is like? Like, did it make you like miss driving, or did
Actually, no, I liked it.
Liked
I
it?
like taking the train, and walking. Kind of slows like life down a little bit. Yeah.
That's a good point. That is.
No, I definitely like the walking part. I think the hard part for me was communication. Communication was definitely a lot more difficult for me.
Mhm. But you were with people who have been to Japan before, right?
Yeah,
So
they spoke Japanese, and I do speak just it's like an N5 level, so kind of basic.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can understand what they're saying for the most part.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Well, Sister Gail, were there any cultural differences or maybe anything you noticed while you were in Canada?
Is it true that they're a lot nicer there?
Yes, they are very, very nice. They're really, really friendly.
Do they say a lot?
Yes,
Top question.
it's true.
I
It's
have to
true.
know.
It's true. And a lot of maple syrup. A lot of maple syrup.
Nice.
Okay.
That's really good.
Another question. Here we call it Canadian bacon. Do they just call it bacon?
Yes, just bacon.
These are questions I have to know.
Oh man, that's like
That's so cool. In Banff.
yeah, in Banff. Well, I also still want to know because those are country, especially Japan. It's like really far out. Were there any other travel tips that you all would like to give about just preparing for such a big trip, going out of the country? Anything you'd like bring, like travel essentials, or just like, oh, my suitcase is very specific. I don't know, whatever you all would like to
I
share.
think in my experience, because I also been to France, and when it came to planning that, I asked one of my sisters in the church to help me find like more brethren there,
Oh,
because I also don't know the language either, and I was going with schoolmates, so of course they're not gonna help me find like place of worship.
Yeah.
And meeting new friends in France, mostly sisters, was really nice. And I think that's the biggest tip, is like use the brethren in the church, find connections, because they also
Definitely.
help with the language and showing you around
Yeah.
the city.
Right. That's a very, very important tip. Make sure, brethren, whenever we are traveling, let's always find the place of worship first.
Yes.
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 Depending on how invested you are in the country you're going to, I'd say get like a very rudimentary, understanding of the language, because just learning a few parts helps so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when my friend was gone, the actual like translator friend, I was basically the translator for the group.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know how to say this, but he just means like, oh, what do you want on your ramen?
Oh.
So there we go. Basic, enough to get by.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
How much is
Things
this?
like that.
I thought I had to, especially like going to a different country and you're buying like your souvenirs and things. Like I want to know.
I definitely
Yeah. Which is this? How much is this? Things like that. Sister Gail, do you have any travel tips?
Especially if you're going outside, like most of your activities, if you're planning anything outside, definitely bring multiple pairs of shoes, multiple pairs of socks, and most
Yes.
importantly, bug spray or bug repellent.
Yes.
Did you need bug,
That's so
bug spray
true.
in Japan at the time of year you went?
Actually, no.
No. But it was just humid.
Yeah,
Okay.
I needed antiperspirant.
Have you seen people with? It's not antiperspirant. It's like
The cooling.
the neck fan things.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
it looks like not
Yeah.
a neck pillow, but it goes right in
Yeah.
your neck. But it's an actual. You have
There's
one?
like 2 fans
No,
here.
Yeah.
But I've seen it
No.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those pretty common?
I see. I guess it was, yeah, in Tokyo. I think that was more common, but I just never really like noticed it until my friend just pointed it out.
Yeah. See, I don't have one. I'm just wondering. I think Ashley has one.
No, but I've heard how, especially in Japan, like we're not sponsored again, but in Don Quixote, like they have a bunch of like cooling things. Like I heard of like there's cooling wipes and like you can have like
That's like the not sponsored. But it's like Walmart. It's their Walmart.
They got all the necessities over there.
Well, we are nearing the end of a broadcast, but we do also want to give this time for you three if you have any special greetings that you'd like to give to viewers or listeners or anywhere around the world. So go ahead.
Well, shout out to my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And our resident worker, Catrois Cardenas.
Yes. Catrois.
Yes. Oh, for me, shout out to my family and the local congregation of Chula Vista in the district of San Diego County.
Woo. You'll be in our next broadcast. After this, the one's after us.
Yo, shout out Kadiwa.
Oh, yeah.
Akuma, JM, I know you're there.
You can join them next time on
Yes.
Shout out to the local of Corona. Big thank you for being on air with us, and to all of our brethren in the live chat for tuning in with us today. It was very, very fun to interact with you all. Moving on to some of our upcoming activities.
Yes.
On Sunday, February 9th at 5 p.m., we do have a special gathering for all SCAN, CMDPS, and DMT officers in the local of Anaheim.
Mhm.
And then on Friday, February 14th, we have an EVM sponsored by SCAN and CMDPS.
Mhm.
And for all of our brethren here in the District of Orange County, California, mark your calendars. On Monday, February 17th, we do have a family get-together, which I believe will be one of our first district activities for the year. So hopefully we see
Super
all of
excited.
our guests there as well. And to all of our brethren tuning in, please be sure to stay tuned for all of our upcoming broadcasts and activities. Unfortunately, that is the end of our broadcast. But before we end, we always have some special thanks to give. First, we would like to thank our brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our CFO coordinator and CEBSI CEO, brother Wally Taray, our station manager, Cahanzel F. De Dios, our district minister, brother Andres Nicolas Jr., our district CFO overseer, and brother Emmanuel and Dai, our executive producer. Last but not least, always big thanks to our Korea techs in the studio. Let's always give them a round of applause. And that was it for this episode of INCRadio Orange County, California. We'll pass it over to INCRadio San Diego.
Bye.